Alright, hello Riven mains and Yasuo mains alike, Way of Life Esports. I'm the Nightwing coming at you guys with another League of Legends video. So, I'm going to be previewing the LEC 2019 Summer Split Gauntlet. Yes, the LEC will have a gauntlet. It takes place tomorrow. That's why I am previewing it today, obviously. There's been a lot of behind-the-scenes issues and drama to unfold, actually. That's why I'm going to be going over it right now with you. So, let's go over everything. So, before even previewing matches or previewing what the players possibly can do or previewing what could possibly happen, basically, if you guys watch my previous news video, then Spylce and Schalke have been having internet issues, and a lot of other teams have come out and talked about the internet issues with living in Berlin. Now, this is not only something I have read and heard about from a lot of the other pro players from the LEC on their Twitter feed, and, you know, even people that don't even play in the competitive scene, like they're a coach or a GM or a head analyst. They've even talked about how bad the internet is, and I think that that's always been a problem with how the Berlin structure for the LEC is, you know, came up with, because even when it was somewhere else, nobody ever had this problem when the EULCS was played in, I forgot where it was before, but yeah, because everybody moved to Berlin for that. So I hope that they can fix their internet issues, because they said that it's really hard to basically get scrims and play scrims if you have bad internet. And even Foreign, who's not even obviously, you know, a pro player or part of any of these teams, went to Berlin as he said he was going to be doing on his Twitter feed. He even said himself, Berlin's internet is terrible. So what I mean by this is that not having good internet means that you're basically going to have to, you know, do whatever to get scrims. You don't know how long it's going to last with internet DC issues. Hopefully they can fix this issue by probably, and this is probably what's going to happen if people who are paying into your franchise league, there are a lot of money that they're probably most likely going to want to have the LEC studio moved, because in the long run, I'm not saying it's going to happen next year or the year after that, because right now it's been super cost efficient to have it in Berlin. I'd imagine that's probably why they chose there. But if teams are going to have these internet issues and find it hard to get scrims or basically have any time to function, you know, with free time, because basically, if I'm being completely honest, guys, what do you do without the internet? The internet is everybody's source of hatred, but it's also the very big source of enjoyment, and I think that that goes a long way right there. So even outside of League, I would personally want them to have internet, because for their own personal reasons, their own personal benefits. That's pretty much it. Now, one more piece of news before I even start previewing the LEC Gauntlet is Origen won't have Cold as their jungler. Not because he got kicked, not because he's been a toxic teammate, nothing about that. He had to step down because of health issues. We have no clue what these health issues are. They talked about it on the usual .lol esports page I go to. So obviously at the end of the video, I'll go over there and then I'll check it out for you guys. So I'll give you guys more context into that. So after all that's been going on with the internet issues, we've had so many other things. We've also have to talk about the match of Origen versus Spylce. So looking at how the whole TSM situation happened with putting in a brand new jungler in its first ever playoff-esque game, that's not going to really bode out very well. Origen still have Alfari, Nukeduck, Mithy, and Patrick. With that being said, I feel like the team is good, but with the brand new jungler, there's like inbuilt synergy issues, and then there's a bunch of little things that he's not going to be able to do with the team the same way Cold has, because he's been working with them. And Origen, the last time we've seen them was when they were on a losing streak. They could have made playoffs, but they lost to Rogue, and it was just like the team has been on a massive downward trajectory. This is kind of who you expect them to be, you know, earlier on in spring, but they had a massive resurgence toward the upward echelon of the LEC. And I think they have a possibility of beating Spylce. I think it's going to be a very, back and forth series, obviously. I think that when you look at Spylce, they are good for what they are, but I think that looking at Spylce, their clear defined strengths are in mid and the AD carry position in Humanoid and Kabe. I think that Norscarin hasn't looked as good as he did on Rocat, because maybe obviously the pressure of performing really well on a big org such as Spylce, in a sense, because this is his first big org, is kind of getting to him. But I feel like Xerxes has been pretty good overall, and Xerxes against a brand new jungler probably won't go that well. I'm sorry for the Origen fans. You guys got far in spring. You did pretty good at Rift Rivals, even though I thought they weren't that good, but, whatever. It doesn't matter what I want personally in my life, but yeah, I think Spylce can beat Origen in the first round. They have a new jungler. They're gonna have a lot of issues. They even have internet issues too, but I feel like Spylce will just have the edge because of the jungle position. It doesn't really matter what Alphari does against Vizichachi. It really doesn't matter, honestly. I can break down champs like if you want to. These teams are gonna play scaling champs. A few early game champs in their compositions. Spylce are mostly gonna play later scaling game champions. And Origen will most likely do the same. So, also with that being said, after this match, the next team who wins faces Schalke. Then after that, whoever beats Schalke, or if Schalke do win their match, they get to face Fnatic. Fnatic and G2 have already qualified for Worlds. The Fnatic match is to see about placing in Worlds, actually. So I'm gonna say Spylce are going to win against Origen. I'm going to say they win 3-1. Origen will get a game, but I feel like that Spylce will win 3-1. Then Spylce will face Schalke. Schalke looked abysmal in their series against Fnatic. We literally just saw that almost 4 days ago, and I think that Schalke verbatim will give a run of the money to Spylce. Looking at both teams, strong bot lanes to a certain degree, top lanes are mismatched a little bit. I feel like Otawamne is a little bit stronger than Vizichachi right now. The jungle position, I think Trick is also stronger. I feel like verbatim Schalke have the better players, and I feel like Schalke will beat Spylce 3-1 in their matchup. Then after that, you have whoever wins out of that matchup is going to face Fnatic, and I'm going to pick Fnatic. There's no way. I don't have to go over. Why would I preview? Even if Spylce does upset Schalke, or even if Origen get to Fnatic, there's no way no three of these teams are going to beat Fnatic after the insane series they just had against G2. Now, it does depend on the mental structure and how Fnatic mentally have bounced back from the loss that G2 handed them. But you can't tell me after watching that series that Spylce, Schalke, or Origen have any shot at beating Fnatic for that second seed. So I think G2 as the first seed, Fnatic will win their last match of the season and become the second seed for EU. And then I think that third team will be Schalke, no fear. I wouldn't want Origen there. Not because I dislike the team, not because I dislike the players. I love Deficio, great analyst, great caster, liked him as a coach. What he had said about being a coach, he said he liked it. I just think that Origen had hit a peak that no one kind of expected, and then they started to fall off when the better teams started to play better. And having a new jungler, I mean, yes, it's not their fault that Colt got health issues. It's not their problem. But we've seen this happen before. It wasn't just TSM's new jungler thing. This has happened before with a lot of the other teams, except people just don't like to bring those situations up, actually. So with that being said, Origen aren't making it. We probably know that by now. Spylce to Schalke seems like a pretty favorite matchup for Schalke. They 2-0'd Spylce on the split, if I'm not mistaken. So that's pretty much it. Those are your three teams I think are going from EU. You have Schalke, third seed, Fnatic, second seed, and G2, first seed. The Gauntlet for EU starts tomorrow, and I hope you guys all enjoy the Gauntlet, as this is the last batch of pro play games from the major regions up until Worlds. Yeah, this is it. This is all the last few teams we have to get qualified for Worlds, and the last few placings that we need, pretty much. So yeah, whoever comes out of EU is the last team to be slotted in, unless unless the LMS is still having their Gauntlet. But nobody knows what goes on in the LMS because they don't English broadcast their region. I wish they did. It'd be another lineup of teams to talk about and potentially have a realm of other league news to go over. So see you guys later. Right now, I'm going to check that. I'm going to give you guys that cold article for you right now. Which could I possibly go to? Let me go to this one. Obviously, I'm going to go boot up my Firefox. Let's go to .esports LOL. Let's go to this. Yes. Origen reveals Cold will miss LEC regional qualifiers due to health issues. So this is obviously what I said before. We are extremely sad to announce that Cold will be unable to play the LEC regional qualifier due to health issues. Cold is an amazing teammate and an integral part of our team. We encourage everyone to send your well wishes to Jonas during his recovery. Obviously, this is what I wanted to point out to make sure people understood why I said Origen wouldn't win in their match. This is a really big problem. So, see you guys later. Like, comment, subscribe. Most of all, enjoy. I'm the Nightwing. Wave Life Esports is signing out. Peace. You guys have a great day. And who will make it to eat the 3rd seed for EU at Worlds? We'll see.
Hi there, guys. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel for more stuff.
Yeah, thank you.